Okay, was it actually working this time? OBS was being frustrating today. OBS was being frustrating today. There's like a horrible buzzing sound. It's because I'm not using my microphone, but I'm not using my microphone because I need my computer only has two outlets, and I need both of them for something else. I'm using built-in, and my built-in mic, I don't know why it's so shit. Like, the quality of the mic is acceptable for a built-in mic. It's not going to be good, of course, but like, what's with that fucking buzzing? I hope that stops for a built-in mic. It's not going to be good, of course, but like, what's with that fucking? I hope that stops for a built-in. All right, I'm gonna have to compromise here because I'm not willing to do a live stream like that. That sounds horrible. I'll fix it. What I have to do is take the stuff I have an external hard drive plugged in, and I'm gonna have to take that footage and move it to my desktop and unplug the external hard drive because that's just not reasonable to expect anyone to listen to that. That's 21 gigabytes. Really? If I have a tag, put it on an SD card. Yeah, that's what I'll do. As long as it'll fit on there. It probably won't fit on there, actually. Let's try it. I've got shit on all of my SD cards, too. I'm not doing good with space right now. Got shit on all. Thank you, built-in mic, for making an unnecessary buzzing sound, even though there's nothing in the room that would be causing that sound to happen. You're fucking great. Where's the SD card looking like? It's not even reading it. Oh, this is fucking great. Oh, there we go. That's trustworthy. And there's 10 gigabytes. That's not going to work. All right. Well, God fucking damn it. Could you please fucking go back when I tell you to go back? Why is... Fuck off! Oh my god. What can I move? I need to make more room while I'm adding this shit. It's too much. There's not really much I can move right now, I don't think. What the fuck? I'm blatantly selecting shit. What are you doing? Oh my god, it's running like fucking shit right now. Good fucking lord. There's way... Um... hmm. Why did you do that, OBS? 'Cause, 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 'cause transferring that, I'm actually gonna open something else up. I'll make a be right back screen for this. Because I probably will be getting up multiple times while doing these. It'd be nice to have like a little media file I can play. What? There's no reason. This sucks. It just fucking sucks. You know what? I'm just gonna use the old one for now. Starting. Because I need to gather shit together. I bet I can cover starting soon up with a BRP without it being noticeable. And that footage is almost done moving, so we can switch out. It should not be running this poorly. Me transferring footage should not make it run this fucking badly. Come on, I hit Control T to put a text in. This shit is infuriating. How long are you gonna delay me because I hit Control T? How long are you gonna delay me because I hit Control T? How long are you gonna delay me because I hit Control T? God fucking damn it. God fucking damn it. Can I please fucking do anything? I wanted to do something so fucking simple. Holy shit. No, it's not responding, so I'm gonna have to fucking forcefully close it now. God fucking damn it. Oh yeah, close the program, you stupid fucking cunt. Close the fucking oh my god! What are you doing? Close it! God damn it! My elevator pitch to you, Spiny. Wait a second. Is my mic corrected yet? Let me see. Alright, now it is, but now I need to turn it back down. I'll take a look in a second. Okay. Did you really not copy that over? The others were open in here too. That doesn't make any sense at all. No, it really did that to me. It really fucking did that. Oh my god, I'm so mad. I'm fucking biting my lips right now. This is fucking infuriating. Stupid piece of fucking shit. Nothing you do makes any fucking sense. You know that? Oh, we can't send this over because it was open in your file. The other two that you sent over were also in the file, dipshit. Anyway. When TV show movies get sequels. Your thoughts? We did that. Volume 6 was sequel edition. And we'll do more sequel editions moving forward. I think every 20 movies we're going to do a sequel edition. It's not YouTube right now, it's Adobe Premiere. Both animated and live action when TV show movies get sequels. Volume 7 is definitely more, it's a fully live action episode, just because I felt like the animation live action balance was not great. So I was like, alright, let's start to do more live action. So Volume 7 is all live action. I don't know what Volume 8's going to be yet. Right now I'm trying to transfer files over because... literally just for the stream. Just to make the stream not suck. Because without my actual microphone plugged in, there was a buzzing sound the entire time, and that was unpleasant to listen to. But now we should finally be able to actually work. It's an inconsistent... what the fuck do you mean? That doesn't mean any... fuck you. Doesn't make any sense. That doesn't make any fucking sense. No, there seriously better not be anything fucking wrong with that. After I just went for all that shit, you fucking douchebag. Alright. Going on here. Editing. Powerpuff CW trailer. Thoughts? Haven't seen it. Language, Steve Rogers. Yeah, Steve Rogers would be very disappointed in me. Alright, we're gonna edit TV show movies, Volume 7. If you don't want the video spoiled for you, don't watch this. We're audio cutting right now, so this is... I'm gonna start streaming a lot more editing. Some of it will be more interest in, because I'll just be drawn in talking with chat, and some of it will be like this one where I'm going to be sitting here editing audio and occasionally checking on chat. And I'll respond to stuff, but it might take me a little bit longer. In fact, I'm not even going to play what I'll play the intro. I'll play the intro for anyone here if you want to see it. It might play like shit because my computer has not been running as great as it used to. But we'll see. But this is the opening for TV show movie 7.
Okay, I said I wanted to start balancing live action and animation a little better in the show. So only live action
Yep,
movies
it's all
today.
ready
Sorry,
for you,
kids. We're only talking about
fuck you.
stuff today.
Go fuck
The Sweet
yourself.
Life of
Go
Zack and
fuck
Cody.
yourself.
Fucking
Go
really?
fuck
How's that
yourself.
one
Go
getting
fuck
covered so
yourself.
early? That
Go
should
fuck yourself. Let's try that again.
Okay, I said I wanted to start balancing live action and animation a little better in the show. So only live action movies today. Sorry, kids. We're only talking about grown-up stuff today. Like The Sweet Life of Zack and Cody.
God,
Fucking really?
what the fuck? No, don't do that to me.
Kids, we're only talking about grown-up stuff today. Like The Sweet Life of Zack and Cody. Wait, fucking really? How is that one getting covered so early? That should be volume 27 at the earliest. It's not like I get to pick the order I do these in. Jesus Christ.
It needs to be turned up. Holy Grail is like really low. A little more than that, actually. Alright. Look like head, chug, hungover. Echo, 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 Marco, Marco. Alright, here we go. So I've already edited a lot of the Monty Python audio, so you're missing a lot of that, but I'm going to start playing from here now.
That'll be fun. I'm looking forward to the day that happens. At this point, I'm talking more about my history with this movie and Monty Python than the movie itself, but I think that's fair.
You're gonna hear me fuck up a lot, because whenever I record voiceover, I do fuck up a lot. I edited all of the audio to the Sweet Life movie right here, so that's why it's all chopped up. This right here is Jackass. It is not chopped up at all. And this right here is Batman. It's not chopped at all. It's not chopped up at all. And this right here is Monty Python and the Holy Grail, which half of it is chopped up over here. So right now it says the video is 34 minutes, but it's definitely not going to be that long, because a lot of this is just me trying to say the same line over and over again in my script and fucking it up. Polo.
It's the Monty Python character.
Yep, right there's an example. There's going to be a lot of that.
It's the Monty Python character guy finally talking about Monty Python again. I only really did that one other time in this channel's 3-year lifespan. Monty Python and the Holy Grail is an incredible comedy, and Monty Python and the Holy Monty Python and the Holy.
Yep.
It does tech incredible comedy. Monty.
So yeah, I was struggling here. I swear there are lines I'll get stuck on for, like, I don't know, my mouth just won't be able to say it, and I'll end up reading it like 20 times. And then people will criticize me for not pronouncing the G.
Monty Python and the Holy Grail is an incredible comedy, and most of the bits work really well. It does technically have a story. Most of the bits work really well. It does technically have a story, but not only does it drop that story in favor of something else like 20 minutes in, but it still functions very much like an extended episode of Flying Circus. Extended episode of Flying Circus. Just that.
Patrick watches SpongeBob.
This time with reoccurring characters and this goal of finding the Holy Grail that they focus on from time to time.
Come on, I didn't do that.
You have all of the absurdity from the show. You have those. You have all of the absurdity from the show. You have those Terry Gilliam animations in between segments. You have characters animations in between segments. You have characters breaking reality, like in this one scene where a bunch of the previous scenes come back to argue over which one of them was the funniest or most clever.
I will be fixing the audio mixing on a lot of this too. I don't.
Reality, like in this one scene where a bunch of the previous scenes come back to argue over which one of them was the funniest or most clever.
I don't think I need to turn up the entire timeline here, like the entire audio file. I think just certain parts need to be turned up a bit. The music probably could be turned down a bit. What do I have it at now? Negative 20. Let's make that like negative 24. Yeah, 24 is probably fine.
Which one of them was the funniest or most clever? The film has most of these skits.
Sometimes I'll just see like a similar audio frequency, like similar audio waves. I'm like, nope, there's me fucking up 3 times in a row. Let's try to find the right take.
Clever. The film has a format that really does play out like one skit after the other. Most of these skits you can enjoy without context of the. Most of these skits you can honestly think I could.
There's the correct take.
To the other. Most of these skits you could even enjoy without context of the previous scenes. I honestly think. I mentioned. Scenes. I honestly think I could eventually do a ranking video ranking each skit within this movie. I mentioned finding some of the deliveries funny as a kid, but truthfully, there are some skits that went over my head. I mentioned finding some of the deliveries funny as a kid. I mentioned finding some.
It's been a little picky during this recording. That first one was fine, but let's see where I went.
Each skit within this movie. I mentioned finding some of the deliveries funny as a kid, but truthfully, while there were some skits that went over my head, a lot of them were
No, I just wasn't saying it right.
pretty easy to follow even as a child. King Arthur's child. King Arthur scene has always King Arthur's fight with the even as a child. King Arthur's fight with the knight was just as funny to me back then as it is today. As always as it is today. The witch scene has always been a funny one. The 3 questions over the bridge might still be my favorite bit in this entire movie. It's such a simple joke, but I love the delivery. It's such a simple. This entire movie. It's such a simple joke, but I love how they pulled it off, especially with the one guy second guessing his favorite color leading to his death. But then there's some more dry bits that I didn't really get as a kid, like the opening scene, for example. I didn't get why this guy was banging coconuts together. I didn't get why this guy was banging coconuts together.
Come on, I thought I cut that right.
Coconuts together. It's a really stupid and easy to understand joke, but hell if I knew it It's a really stupid and easy to understand joke, but hell if I knew what people were doing in ye old times. Maybe it was. I also didn't. It was. Maybe that was normal, thought 7-year-old me. I also didn't understand a word of their conversation about coconuts and swallows, so it was really funny getting older and realizing that the entire thing was just complete nonsense, delivered with such entire thing was just complete nonsense. Delivered complete nonsense. Delivered with.
This is a mistake I still make to this day. And for any aspiring video makers out there, I will suggest this. When you're doing voiceover, if you fuck up a line, don't just do the second half of the line again if you didn't give enough of a pause, because then there's going to be a very noticeable and weird cut in between it. I do that a lot. I do that so frequently that I normally don't go back and re-record it. If you fuck up a line, redo the whole thing. God, fuck you, it's not what I clicked. Now I have to try to kind of cheat it here a bit.
Nonsense. Delivered with nonsense. Delivered with such sense. Delivered with such.
Alright, that worked pretty good.
Nonsense. Delivered.
Because we have to like kind of use the start of the delivered from the bad take and the delivered from the good take.
Sense delivered with such authenticity that my stupid child brain actually thought they were having a real conversation. I think the I'm probably listening to nonsense delivered with such authenticity that my stupid child brain actually thought they were having a real conversation. I think the only scenes I never got that into is the one where Sir Galahad is in the castle full of young women who want to be punished, and the enchanter scene. I'm probably listing some fans' favorite scenes right now. Punished and the enchanter scene. I'm probably listing some fans' favorite scenes right now. But I don't know, they just don't do a lot for me. It's kind of funny that Galahad's friend do a lot for me. Don't do a lot for me. It's kind of funny when Galahad's friend comes to rescue him from a situation he doesn't want to be taken out of. But it's one of those scenes just plays out in a very repetitive way. Like, I get it. He's horny. It's a very horny scene. That's the joke. Moving on.
That's a good place for the music to cut off.
In a very repetitive way. Like, I get it. He's horny. It's a very horny scene. That's the joke. Moving on.
I got lucky with that. Yeah, I can easily like segue into new music for the scene. That worked out.
Moving on. And the Enchanter is probably the only scene in the movie where I never get a single laugh. And the Enchanter... And the Enchanter is probably the only scene in the movie I've never gotten a single laugh from. It's not terrible or anything, it's just kind of a weak skit in between two great ones.
I need to fact check myself on that, because I said that assuming that was true. Because I love most of the skits in this movie. But that might not actually be true. Let me look. New sequence from clip. I need to put my movies on the timeline anyway. Oh yeah, fucking Batman.
Length motion picture feature in color opens a exciting exploit.
Yeah, I fell asleep during this movie, so I have this like extra long recording here. I was trying to listen to see if Matt and Mitsu called me. I was trying to listen to see if they tapped out at any point. Holy Grail. Let's see here.
Do I leave those two black bars there? Probably. So there's the... Where's the enchanter scene? Oh, it's right here. Alright. So the scene after the enchanter scene... Oh, it's the rabbit. So yeah, that's a pretty good scene. The scene before the enchanter scene is the knights who say neat. Alright, yeah. Yeah, okay, I can make that point. Not as strong as I would like it to be. The rabbit scene and the knights who say neat are not like top 5 scenes or anything, but they're funny. So I can say that. Yeah, sometimes I do bullshit. Sometimes I do bullshit a bit. It's not terrible or anything. It's just kind of a weak skit in between two great ones. Good ones, but I'm gonna allow it. It's just kind of a weak skit. That's all. It's just kind of a weak skit, if you know what I say. It's not that good of a skit. For the rest of the movie, I do think it's peak month. The rest of the... There we go. That should be good. That's all. The rest of the movie, peak Monty Python humor. I do think it's the best that... on humor. I do think it's the best of the Monty Python movies, and hell, it might just be the best of Monty Python. I should watch the rest of the Python. I should watch the rest of the show one day. One day. I've seen a lot of it, I just never sat down and watched all of it. But I'll get to the other two eventually on a sequel edition, but for now, let's... all of it. I'll get to the other two eventually on a sequel edition, but for now, I'll say The Meaning of Life isn't too far off from Holy Grail to me. I like that... Grail to me. I like that one a lot, and I used... From Holy Grail to me. I like that one a lot, and I used to really dislike The Life of Brian, but after watching it over on Match Channel for his show Sickest Shit You Ever Saw, a show where a show about us watching you ever saw, a show about us watching a bunch of controversial films and talking about them, it did grow on me a little. I do consider it the weak. I do a little. I do consider it the weakest of the three, though. This one's kind of weird because I guess this was supposed to be the start of a series, but its release got delayed until after a lot of the show came out. So it ended up being more of a film adaptation of the series rather than the premiere of a series. I'm gonna fact check that. My source is Matt, and I trust that source, but I should actually look it up myself. Yes, Batman the movie 1966 was intended to be a pilot for the TV series, but was released between the first and second seasons instead due to budget constraints. That's the AI overview. So maybe I should look a little further than that. Okay, it does say between the first and second season, so that part is true. Okay.
Okay, I'm reading enough. I've seen two different sources, not counting the A overview, confirm that. So I'm gonna say with Matt and two sources, it's a safe bet to say that is true. Oh.
Of a series, at least in the eyes of those who watched it. I haven't seen much of the show, but it is always kind of. I brought it up to it, but it is all. But it is much of the show, but
I did it again.
Watched it. I haven't seen much of the show, but it is always kind of nice how fondly it's remembered whenever it gets brought up. I brought it up to older family it gets brought up. I brought it up to older family members and they just start laughing. Oh, remember how he climbed up the buildings with the rope and a celebrity stuck their head out of one of the windows? Remember windows? Remember the rubber shark? Remember shark repellent? Repellent. It's a very goofy show and it seems to be very the show under it's a very goofy show and that seems to be very intentional. The show understood that intentional. The show understood that and the audience understood that. And it managed to be a pretty big understood that. Fuck me. I can't talk anymore.
There's me getting genuinely frustrated.
Understood that. And it managed to be a pretty big part of television history. Shows like
this part I remember, so that's me saying it for the first time. I remember taking me a while.
Because it's a
okay. Maybe it's the steak.
Shows
Yeah. This line, I don't know why I fucked it up so many times.
History. Shows like Fairly Odd Parents and Family Guy got Adam West to be on their shows to bring a little bit of that Batman 60s.
Cut that. Cut that pause there.
A little bit of that Batman 66 flair to their shows. because it's the movie shows because it's a very easy show to like. Because it's a very easy show to like. It's a very campy and fun version of this character. The movie really is just more of the show, and the movie granted character. The movie really is just more of the show, and I did have a really fun time watching it. Granted, I think I'm watching it. Granted, I think if I'm ever to watch the show again, I would prefer it in smaller bites. Nearly 2 hours is a long time to watch something like this to me. The charm of it kind of dies down eventually, but it does last longer than you might expect it to, and it dies down in one sitting. I could watch like half of it and then watch the other half another day. I just think 2 hours is a bit much for one sitting of this. It's definitely a great movie to watch while drinking with friends, and that's what I did. Holy Grail I saw in theaters for what I did. Holy Grail I saw in theaters for this episode, but the other three were a marathon where I watched all three in the same Discord call. Batman was the final film of that marathon. I watched them. Recall. Batman was the final film of that marathon, and I almost made it. Passed out with like 10 minutes left. I watched them the next day. I didn't skip it. I didn't skip it. I do have a memory of watching this movie as a kid. Shark repellent is something that I found funny my entire life. It's probably the one thing from the series that I have actually referenced a lot in my life. Honestly, though, the open scene is really the only part. Looking back at it, I love the run and play screen. Honestly, though, the open scene is really the only part I remembered all that well from childhood. But looking back at it, the open scene is really the only part I remembered all that well from childhood. But looking back at it, I love the run and play screen scenes that have been parodied to death in other shows. I love the Riddler spell. I love how the death in other shows. Been parodied to death in other shows. I love how the Riddler spells out his riddles in the sky for Batman to see. Even if it for Batman to see, even if it deliberately fucks up their plans.
Deliberately might not be the right word, because I think he is still convinced that it's not going to fuck up his plans.
I love Batman holding a really old-timey, cartoonishly...
This might make me a few times.
I feel like this show...
No, only once. Okay, only fucked that up once.
I love Batman holding a really old-timey, cartoonishly oversized bomb and frantically running, trying to find somewhere to throw it. I feel like this show had a hand in creating so much ironic corniness comedy has today. Going to hand the rest of this discussion off to a guest who has a little bit more to say about this movie than I do, but overall I enjoyed looking back at it. But it's not going to be at the top of the list or anything.
Alright, this part's already done. This is a guest segment, so we can just watch this together. We can just watch it.
But it's not going to be at the top of the list or anything.
Holy guest appearance, Spiny. Listen, I liked The Batman. It is a good movie, but I'm just getting kinda tired of dark, realistic Batman. Like, we already have The Dark Knight. You're not topping The Dark Knight. I miss the deft hand of peak career Tim Burton, perfectly threading the needle between accepting the silliness of the character's world and still taking the character seriously. And then Batman 66 is on the complete opposite side of that spectrum. This shit is corny as hell and I love it. I've heard people try to pass this off as a parody or satire on the cheesy old 40s Batman serials, and while I certainly think they were aware what they're making is silly, I think they did that with complete sincerity. I think they loved those old serials and were trying to make something to live up to them. It was the 60s. We were just figuring out this whole irony thing. But yeah, I do think they were fully aware of how funny anti-shark bat spray is, and I don't think they were interested in doing him any other way. Yes, it's Batman 66, or Batman the movie, to distinguish it from the TV show also frequently.
I do like that we both specifically brought up the shark. Because how can you not?
Called
How can you not?
Batman 66. I think this is probably the Batman show I've seen the most of, and by that I mean I know for a fact that this is the Batman show I've seen the most of. Thing is, most episodes of this show are more or less the same. None of them stand out as the greatest of the bunch, save maybe for their team up with Green Hornet. Adam West Batman shared the screen with Bruce Lee. Insane. There's also one where Lurch from the Addams Family shows up, but fuck if I can remember what episode that is. It is an incredibly formulaic show. In fact, if there's one thing from the series that really does stand out, it's this movie. All the funny gags you know are here. Shark repellent, some days you just can't get rid of a bomb, plus all the recurring insanity of the show, like the boom pow cards, Caesar...
I'm glad that he brought that up, because I didn't.
Romero's mustache, the wall
let me look at that.
the wall climbing, and Batman being the most absurd
Was it like that in the movie? I don't remember.
goody you can imagine. Like, Spiny asked me
No, it is, because he's literally talking about the movie now. That's funny. I didn't remember that.
for good episodes of this show to start with, and I said that honestly the movie was maybe the best starting point for the show. My only problem with that is it might actually set expectations too high. The show is silly, but oddly it's almost too cheap to attain the level of camp the movie has. And don't get me wrong, this movie is still really cheap. Like, I'm certain this is the cheapest Batman movie by a wide margin, even adjusted for inflation. But it is bigger and grander than the show. I could even imagine someone really liking the movie but then getting kind of bored of how repetitive the show is. I guess my point is, if you watch anything from the Batman 66 show, let it be this movie. A perfect example of a movie based on a show that completely exceeds its source material. It's everything fun from the show and then some, rolled into a nice, self-contained hour 44. Granted, that runtime might be my biggest critique. That ending with the dehydrated UN
Me and Matt are pretty, much on the same page with this
members
one, it
goes
seems.
on way too long. But other than that, this is everything it needs to be. Oh, also, I don't know if Spiny is gonna cover this, might work for an Edge Case episode, but there's an animated film based on the series from 2016 called
I will cover them in a sequel edition eventually, I think. Kind of depends on how long I'm doing this. It probably won't be like the next one, but I mean, I'm going to want to keep doing sequel editions, and if I don't want to revert to just doing Pokemon over and over again, which I'd really like to cut off after the third movie, then yeah, I probably probably should be covering stuff like this to keep it interesting, because we're going to get a lot of SpongeBob, we're going to get a lot of Jackass. I already did the one for some of the others that only got one sequel, so
called Return of the Caped Crusader. That's a really fun meta-examination of how much Batman has changed since this series came out. It kind of ended up doing a lot of the stuff the Lego Batman movie did a year before that movie. I honestly think I liked Lego Batman a little less than I would have, because I'm like, Return of the Caped Crusader just did this, and honestly, probably a little better. I'm sorry, Lego Batman's a great movie, I absolutely love it. I just think Return of the Caped Crusaders was a smidge better, and you are allowed to disagree with me on that. Also, there's a sequel I've just never gotten around to for some reason. Anyways, on top of the 66 movie, I also recommend Return of the Caped Crusader, and I'll talk more about it if Spiny ever decides to cover it. What will I say? Will I ever watch the sequel? Will I make more dumb references to the show? Tune in to find out. Same Spiny time, same Spiny channel.
So to be honest, my only experience with Jackass was a friend showing me a few clips when I was a kid, and me not being into it. I knew it was super. I knew it was a super pop. I knew it was a super popular show, of course, but when it comes to prank shows, I've always preferred stuff like The Eric Andre Show, Nathan For You, or even Impractical Jokers. Even if their movie was pretty bad. It's pretty bad. I really didn't think I was going to be able to get too into this movie. I only like highbrow prank movies like Borat or Finding Francis. Thank you very much. But I was wrong. But I was wrong. I guess I love lowbrow shit just as much as the next guy, because I laughed a lot watching this movie. It doesn't really justify itself as a movie, as watching this movie. It doesn't really justify itself as a movie as much as a Jackass compilation video on YouTube, but that wasn't really a thing yet, so maybe this was a very fun thing to go and see in theaters back in the day. Hell, being in a theater and reacting as a group might make this a lot more enjoyable. I've never seen a movie like this, a lot more enjoyable. Might make this a lot more enjoyable. I've never seen a movie like this in theaters, but I'd be pretty open to it. Movie as much as a Jackass compilation video on YouTube, but that wasn't really a thing yet, so maybe this was a very fun thing to go and see in theaters back in the day. Hell, being in a theater and reacting as a group might make this a lot more enjoyable. I've never seen a movie like this in theaters, but I'd be pretty open to it. I guess another thing that would have made it a movie back in 2000 to it. Be pretty open to it. I guess another
breath there.
Do it. I guess another thing that would have made it a movie back in 2002 is they were allowed to curse now. Nothing got censored, so they were able to now. Nothing got censored. To curse now. Now. Nothing got censored, and they even took note of that when making this movie and tried to make something with that. And tried to make something with that. One of the people on the show, one of the guys on the show, first now. Nothing got censored, and they even took note of that when making this movie and tried to make something with that. One of the people, meanest people on the show. One of the guys on the show trying to get their mom to say the F word. F word. In the meanest fucking way possible, by the way. I guess there's a couple of other things.
Yes.
Gonna put that up to 15.
Place, but I agree. It's kind of like American Dad.
All right, we're just not gonna use any audio from this because we were talking during that. I think we did a little bit during Jackass and Sweet Life, but I think I had myself muted for that. So we got our movies on the timeline now. We're actually almost done with this audio cut.
Can't help me.
You can definitely hear Mitzi. I gotta be fucking careful with what I'm showing on stream here, actually. I don't think they show any nudity, though.
Is this our apartment?
That's a pretty good part.
Is this thing real?
Yeah, you can. There's Mitzi. Hold on, I think I could use that clip, and then there's another good part I could use.
This fucking way possible, by the way.
Yep.
That might be good too. Hold on.
Seriously, please, help! Seriously, please, help! How are we gonna get this thing out of here? I'm scared to death!
Oh, your poor mom. Abby?
They got her to curse though. What?
Yeah. Well, they're trying to get her to swear. At least, I think. Yep.
I could use Mitzi's audio if I also had my audio turned on there, because that's us reacting to her cursing, so we just won't use that. That's fine. We don't need it.
Oh, your poor mom.
That's all you need. That's all you need. On the show trying to get their mom to say the F word. In the meanest fucking way possible, by the way. I guess there's a couple of other things that I suppose make it feel semi-cinematic, like the opening scene is pretty well shot and fun to watch. It's a pretty memorable image for this film. They do escalate some of their... They do... They do escalate some of their ideas in this movie, starting off with something like a tiny alligator biting one of their nipples, and then the next scene is them walking over a tightrope with a bunch of alligators. These ones are adults. I haven't really seen a... But if you're making a... ones are adults. Like I said, I haven't really seen the show outside of a clip or two, so I don't know how much further this movie went than the show normally did. But if you're making a prank movie, I think you either want it to be like a story with characters that are interacting with reality, like Bad Trip or Borat, or you want to go even further with the pranks. So does the Jackass movie do that? I don't know. Maybe one of you do. So I can't really comment on them raising the stakes for this adaptation, but I'm assuming this is just what the show was like. So is it a good adaptation? Sure, it's more of the show. But unlike something like the Impractical Jokers movie, they don't try to force in these horrible story elements that are poorly written, poorly acted, and not funny at all. So, yeah, I would rather them just do the show but longer, rather than try to force in a movie story that doesn't work at all. I do like it when something like Bad Trip comes along where they're able to do the pranks and still have like a movie story to it. But that just doesn't seem like what these guys are going to be interested in doing. But maybe they do in some of the sequels. I don't know. I haven't seen any of them. Some highlights of the movie for me were the night pandas, the skating rink in the back of a moving truck, and them giving a tattoo during a bumpy car ride scene. Laughed hard at all of those. hard at all of those. And then there's some smaller ones that got laughs from me. And then there's some smaller ones that got laughs from me too, although a lot of it is just me thinking they're fucking insane. Insane. Like the one scene where the guy just gets shot in his stomach. What was that? Like a rubber one time. Like the one scene where the guy just gets shot in his stomach. What was that? Like a rubber bullet. Yeah, that's fucking horrible. Why would you do that? Would you do that for the movie? I get it, but God, it's not even really funny. It's just uncomfortable. I get it. You guys are fucked up. I'm really funny. It's just uncomfortable. I get it. You guys are fucked up. Would you do that for the movie? I get it, but God, it's not even really funny. It's just uncomfortable. I get it. You guys are fucked up. Maybe that's just them giving themselves karma. Maybe that's just them. If you're wait. Maybe that's just them giving themselves karma for how much they disturb the public in this movie. If you're way too grossed out by vomiting and if you're way too grossed out, but if you have if you're way too grossed out by seeing someone vomit or shit, I would say avoid this one.
And I'm just gonna put a big old picture of Spiny on that one as assurance that I'm not actually going to show any of what I'm describing there. Because that's something that a lot of people are genuinely not going to want to look at. So I won't do it. Which movie is this? Hey, Random Ricky. This is, right now I'm talking about Jackass in the audio. But I don't have any of the visuals up yet. I do for like really early in the video, but we're just editing audio right now. But yeah, this is a Jackass discussion right here. And this movie was my first time watching anything Jackass related outside of a clip or two, so it was interesting.
That's just them giving themselves karma for how much they disturb the public in this movie. If you're way too grossed out by seeing someone vomit or shit, I would say avoid this one. But if you have a strong stomach and like watching people harm and humiliate themselves for your entertainment, well, you likely already saw this one. But if you're like me and thought you were above Jackass, get over yourself. Jackass is pretty funny, and check it out. Check it out. I can admit now, Jackass is funny.
Okay, that makes sense. I was thinking, what the fuck is this movie? Would you say it's better than the Impractical Jokers movie? Yes, and here's the thing. I think the Impractical Jokers movie tries harder to be a movie by incorporating story stuff. But the thing is, the story portions are so bad that I would just prefer Jackass, which really doesn't feel like it's trying to be a movie. It feels like it's just, they put enough shit in the movie for it to be movie length. Because there's nothing outside of the opening scene. There's not much cinematic about it. But I think they at least knew what to focus on to make the entire thing entertaining. Because when Impractical Jokers is doing the prank stuff in the movie, it's really funny. When they're doing the skits, they're not good at skits. And I said it in this portion too. I do really appreciate stuff like Bad Trip or Borat, where it can be like a story where you're basically having this like character interact with real people. Like the movie is happening right in front of real people and you're getting their reactions. Like that stuff is priceless. I think that movies like Borat, Bad Trip, or even some of Nathan Fielder's stuff. The series finale of Nathan For You, Finding Francis, is basically the Nathan For You movie. Like that stuff is all wonderful. But if you don't want to do that,
the Jackass approach is a lot better than the Impractical Jokers approach. Yeah. Yeah, like I talked about the Impractical Jokers movie in an episode already, and it wasn't my cup of tea. But I mean, but there were funny moments that, like, when they were doing their shtick, it was good. Yeah. The second Jackass movie. I actually do mention that maybe the later ones do that. Jackass 2 is the one that people really like, right? Because I've heard about the Jackass movies, but I always hear people talk about Jackass 2. No, the second Borat. Oh, okay. So, and honest to God, the people might like the second Jackass movie just because they think the pranks are funnier. Because honest to God, I have a hard time imagining a Jackass movie having a story. Okay, gotcha. I haven't seen the second Borat yet. I'll have to. That might count. Wasn't Borat a character on a show? Borat might count as a TV show movie. Like, I might be able to talk about Borat. I've never seen the show he's from. Yeah, because if I counted MacGruber as a comedy skit, I might need to count Borat. Okay, Borat would actually be really fun to talk about, and then I could cover Borat 2 on a sequel edition. I haven't seen what's it called? Juno? What's it called again? Juno is the teen comedy thing. Was it Bruno? Yeah, Bruno. I never saw Bruno. But I heard it's really funny too. Anyways.
Jackass is funny. Not all of the bits are winners. Some of them are kind of lame. Like, there's this one bit, kind of lame. Like, there's this one bit where it's just this fat guy in his underwear in a pool and he gets out of it. That was the bit. I hope you liked that one. That was a necessary... That was a necessary scene to have in this movie. I'm sure I'm gonna get a few people... I'm sure I'm going to get a few people to roll their eyes at me with this one, and a few people who think I should go even harder on them for this, but I think that bit with the sea cucumber was a bit uncalled for. That's a living thing. Leave it alone. I know they fuck with a lot of people in this movie, but it's either thing. Leave it alone. I know... Leave it alone. I know they fuck with a lot of people in this movie. In this movie, but it's either harmless enough or you get the idea that these guys are going to get compensated in some way for their participation. Like, if property is damaged, I'm sure the studio is paying for that. I also personally get really squeamish. I also paying for that. I also personally get really squeamish with shit like the paper cut scene. That is exceptionally hard for me to watch. I could barely watch the fake version of that and Everything Everywhere All at Once, but seeing it happen for real, God, I could throw up watching that. The appeal of, but that's another, that's kind of, and you're kind of, God, I could throw up watching that. But that's another appeal to Jackass, I feel. It's gonna catch you off guard. It's gonna do something that's too hard for even you to watch. And you're kind of watching it hoping you get that and then dreading when it does. All in all, I had a good time with it, and we'll be checking out the others for sequel editions of the show. They could, which honestly, Jackass and SpongeBob are probably going to dominate.
They could have a movie discussed every sequel. To dominate. They could have a movie discussed every sequel edition at this point. Pokemon probably could too, but I'm probably cutting that one off after the third movie. Have a movie discussed every sequel edition at this point. Pokemon probably could too, but I'm probably cutting that one off after the third movie.
Oh yeah, Bruno, isn't that the movie Sacha Baron Cohen almost died, or was it just a rumor? I don't know actually. I haven't heard that, but it's possible that's what that movie was. I don't know a lot about Bruno. I just know that it's I've heard it's good. I know that it's less popular than Borat, and I think it was even like it had a bit more mixed reception. I think the general public responded to Borat better as a character than Bruno. But people who are big fans of Sacha Baron Cohen seem to like both characters a lot and like both movies a lot. But yeah, I'll check it out eventually. Borat, it took me forever to watch. I only watched that like 2 or 3 years ago. But I really enjoyed it.
Probably cutting that one off after the third movie, unless I get really desperate.
All right, here's the fourth secret movie that we're doing for the final one. Here's the final movie that's not revealed in the thumbnail. I already edited this part. I already did the audio cutting for this, so we'll switch it back over to movie one and start doing the visual editing. I just had a fucking tangent to go on here with this one. How long do I talk about the Sweet Life? I talk about the Sweet Life movie for fucking 10 minutes. It's not good. It's not, but it's also one of those things where you go into it's like, well, what the fuck did you expect? Of course it wasn't going to be good, but you know what? It's like kind of amazing how not good it is. Like I'm surprised that it was as bad as it was. But I grew up with The Sweet Life of Zack and Cody. I can talk about the movie. It's definitely low-hanging fruit. I'll say that. Like, what it will, like, you do have to question. You have to question what do you expect with the Sweet Life movie. Zack and Cody movie, no. And I hope that I don't. I hope it does. I hope I don't upset anyone who really liked the Sweet Life movie growing up. I compliment the show. The movie was kind of, it was like 90% boring and 10% frustrating. But anyway, now that we have all the audio trimmed, it's likely this video, I'm going to add clips in, so it'll probably go up a little higher than 28 minutes, but we're looking at a 28-minute long volume here, a little bit over, but not by a lot.
Okay, I said I wanted to...
This is the only part that I've done visuals for so far.
Okay, I said I wanted to start balancing live action and animation a little better in the show. So only live action movies today. Sorry kids, we're only talking about grown-up stuff today, like The Sweet Life of Zack and Cody. Wait, fucking really? How is that one getting covered so early? That should be volume 27 at the earliest. It's not like I get to pick the order I do these in, Jesus Christ. The opening credits is one of the longest bits.
Okay, so I've got all of my footage over here. I guess maybe I shouldn't show the flash and light stuff. I think I'm going to take a big chunk of it and just speed it up a bit. Not that by that much. We'll do like 11 seconds.
The opening credits is one of the longest bits in this movie, and it's really funny. I don't think there's a lot of people who could get away with a bunch of text being their opening scene and it being this funny.
Alright, let's,
The opening credits is one of the... The opening credits is one of the...
Gonna be real, I don't think there's any real fans of this movie, dude. You are good. I would hope not. I would hope that people have higher standards than that. Alright, let me, I need a image here. But yeah, Spiny Norman talks about Monty Python again in this episode. It's literally where my fucking profile picture comes from, or my character comes from. And I've talked about him twice on this channel now, with this count in this video. Not much to say about Monty Python. It's funny shit.
The opening credits is one of the longest bits in this movie, and it's really funny. I don't think there's a lot of people who could get away with a bunch of text being their opening scene and it being this funny. I've been watching this movie.
That does open with a scroll, right? Nah, I need to fact check myself again. I've only watched Spaceballs once. I think I was a little too late to Spaceballs. It's not bad. I just wasn't as into it as a lot of people are. I think I got a lot of the jokes. But that is how Spaceball opens, right? It's a fucking joke text at the start because it's gonna imitate Star Wars. Okay, yeah. By fact check completed. Nice. Still want to check those. I've heard way too many good things about it. Honestly, someone who wants to be a writer, it feels like a crime not watch most of their stuff yet. Oh, Monty Python? Monty Python or Spaceballs? I'm assuming Monty Python, based on how you worded that. Monty Python is like, here's the thing. I don't even know if I'd recommend it if writing is your main interest from it, because a lot of their shit was very spontaneous. Like, their pitch for the show, they had no idea. Like, they got really lucky. They had no concrete pitch ready for that show, because they really just wanted to make a show about fucking around. And it's like, it's possible some of these things they made were scriptless. Like, it's very absurd humor. That comes from a very random place. I do think it's worth checking out. But, maybe as a writer, you do still get something from it. Maybe it is something you could still benefit from watching. But, because, I mean, yeah, who's to say? Who's to say that you can't get anything, like, of value from it? I mean, it's something that clicked with a lot of people, so surely you could. But yeah, it's worth. It's old, you know. It's an old set. It's old style. I don't know if it's gonna appeal to everybody, but it's so like. It's such bizarre humor. It's like it feels like a really early example of a lot of the shows and movies we see today. Like some of the absurdity that you see in a current show like Rick and Morty or Smiling Friends. You know, a lot of that feels like it almost originates from Monty Python. Monty Python was like one of the earliest shows to just say, fuck it, we're just going to do whatever we want, and it doesn't matter how silly it is. The joke doesn't have to make sense if it's funny.
My entire life, and I absolutely funny. I've been watching this movie
So this is where we just start picking at random parts of the movie until there's a relevant clip. Using some of the dancing nights would be good.
I've been watching this movie my entire life, and
I do think Holy Grail is an outstanding starting point. And if you're looking for an episode to watch, I think it's the first episode of the second series, Face the Press, it's my personal favorite episode. Granted, I haven't seen every episode. And that's also the one that Spiny Norman is in. the character I use.
I've been watching this movie my entire life, and I absolutely love it. Love it. Love it. I watched it as a kid and didn't understand it very well, but I thought it was funny when the one guy said,
But I've built it all the same. Of this land, that'll be your kingdom, lad. Mother! All that you can see, stretched out over the hills and valleys of this land, that'll be your kingdom, lad. Mother! Father, lad, father. Father, I don't want... One day, lad, all this will be yours. What, the curtains? No, not the curtains, lad.
That shit still makes me laugh.
middle school. But I thought it was funny when the one guy said, "What, the curtains?" I then watched it in middle, but I thought it was funny when I understand it very well. But I thought it was funny when the one guy said, "What, the curtains?" I then watched it in middle school and realized.
Alright, we'll just use the knights that seem neat for this.
I then watched it in middle school and realized it was one of the funniest movies I've ever seen. In high school and college, if I ever made friends with someone,
Yeah, we're kind of just pulling random clips now until a relevant one comes up again. Just show some variety here. I always check to make sure the clip's not... 7 seconds is my limit, so this one's fine.
movies I've ever seen.
It's not 8 seconds yet.
In
It's a good way to avoid copyright.
high school and college, if I ever made friends with someone who had not seen the movie yet, that was going to happen, and it never failed to get any of them to feel the same way about it as me. Maybe I'm just...
That's a bad cut, though. In fact, let's cut it in the middle so we get a cut in the shot for more variety.
In high school and college, if I ever made friends with someone who had not seen the movie yet, that was going to happen, and it never failed to get any of them to feel the same way about it as me. Maybe I'm... Maybe I'm just lucky with who I showed the movie to, or maybe this is one of the most universally accepted comedies of all time. Who's to say? Don't respond.
I can use the spiny reaction image for this part.
To say, don't respond to that with something proving me wrong. I know there's a joke or two in the movie that doesn't hold up anymore, but an overwhelming majority of this one still does.
My most recent viewing was probably the best one I ever.
Raised.
We'll use the Terry Gilliam shot here.
My most recent viewing was probably the best one I ever had because I actually got to enjoy it in a theater full of people for its 50th anniversary. It was really cool seeing it.
Alright, let's see here. Is there an image I could use for this Monty Python Holy Grail 50th anniversary? I can probably screenshot this Instagram post. Yeah, there was they re-released it on the big screen for the anniversary, and I was like, okay, well, I've watched this movie probably more times than any other movie, so I should see it on the big screen. God, is it the one I've seen the most? Probably. Honestly, when it comes to TV show movies, I've probably seen SpongeBob and South Park about as many times as I've seen Holy Grail. In terms of movies just as a whole, I'd say probably like Green Mile or My Cousin Vinny are probably my most two watched movies.
50th anniversary. It was really cool seeing a comedy I've watched for so many years of my life the way it was originally released. I was also the only guy in his 20s in that theater. That's the last time I'll ever be able to say that line.
Because I'm 30 now. I'll move back a little bit. I need the book hitting scene.
However, I did notice that while the movie did have the very long title sequence, the old
Oh, I actually do need something there.
I'll ever be able to say that line. However, I did notice that while the movie did have the very long title sequence, the old black and white movie fake out was not present. That while the movie did have the very long title sequence, the old
So this one I have to look up. Because I actually haven't seen this in a long time. Dentist on the Job. Yeah, that's what it was. So was this really just something for the... The studio logo's opening credits and brief portion of this film's opening scene is an Easter egg. In the special edition DVD of Monty Python and the Holy Grail, the scene plays automatically if Play Movie is selected from the main menu, unless the movie's already in progress. The screen goes dark, a sputtering unseen projectionist is heard fumbling for the correct reel film. Alright, the thing is, I talk about this in the video, it's going to be really interesting, because I only watched it as a kid on the special edition DVD. It's the only version of the movie that has this opening scene in it, where they do a fake out. They make you think you're watching a different movie. And that apparently wasn't in the original theatrical run, and it has been in none of the re-releases. It wasn't in the theatrical run I saw. It wasn't on, like, when they put it on Netflix, it was missing. And it's just really funny, because it's like in my head, I was like gaslit. I was like, no, this was there. I swear this was there. It's because I was watching the special edition, which was the only fucking version that had the scene. That's cool. That's cool. Am I waiting? Oh, how are you doing, Bluster? Welcome. We're editing TV show movie 7, and I am in this video. I talk about how there's like a scene missing from the movie that I'm talking about, and the thing that's really interesting about it is now actually you like finding the clip on YouTube and doing a little bit of research on it. It's like, oh, okay. The reason I saw like I had the special edition DVD when I was younger because it was my dad's, and I would watch that, and it was literally the only version of the movie that has the scene I'm talking about. It was like fucking Mandela affected out of existence for me. It really was. But I've watched it. Like the thing is, I've watched. Like I knew it wasn't. I knew it was there because it's not. It wasn't like maybe I'm just remembering it wrong. Because the special edition DVD is how I watched it. I've watched Holy Grail probably 20 times in my life, and that's not an exaggeration. Probably 20 times in my life, and this was the only time. This was like. I'd say like 90% of those times. I'd say like, maybe not 90% at this point. Most of those times, I was watching the special edition DVD. So that's really funny. I'm glad I got this segment in here. But yeah, this is an editing stream. I'm going to be doing a lot more of these. Some of them will be drawn streams where I'm kind of shooting the shit and letting people hop on with me, but others are going to be like this, where it's like, nope, we're editing audio, and we're just going to sit down and work. But I'll check chat here and there. That's really funny, though.
Able to say that line. However, I did notice that while the movie did have the very long title sequence, the old black and white movie fake out was not present. Was the movie not released with that? Was that just something they did for the DVD?
And the answer is yes. And now we're going to cut it because I don't want to. I'm going to cut it there because I don't want to get hit with copyright.
Something they did for the DVD, or did they cut it from this re-release? Honestly, I don't think you're missing too much with that scene gone. I mean, it's just adding another layer of fake out to a long montage.
I'm gonna trim that down a bit. They did a huge gap of just a black screen.
Of fake outs. Honestly, I don't think you're missing too much with that scene gone. I mean, it's just adding another layer of fake out to a long montage of fake outs. But I always thought it was funny. You think you're about to watch a really old. But I always thought it was funny. I'm think you're about to watch a really old and mild-mannered movie before switching to a very absurd comedy. But I have no idea how frequently this movie was released with this. The only time I've ever seen it was
Oh, happy that you're getting to work on the highly anticipated Spiny Saga of TV show movies. Yeah, Volume 7's been long overdue. Matt edited a segment for this video like a while ago, but I did give him enough time to re-edit. He sent me a re-edit of his scene like 2 days ago, and that was like kind of my cue to like, all right, let's get to work on this. Let's actually get this done. I think live stream is going to help me kind of like motivate me to work, because I do slack off too much lately.
I kind of question I've ever seen it was on the DVD, which is probably how I've seen the movie the most times. But anytime I rent the movie digitally, most times, but anytime I rent the movie digitally or when it was put up on Netflix, no, that scene's gone. I kind of questioned on whether or not this one should count as a TV show movie.
That's 10 seconds, but
I kind of questioned on whether or not this one should count as a TV show movie, but if I'm willing to count movies based on web shit, to count movies based on count as a TV show movie, but if I'm willing to count movies based on or when it was put up on Netflix, no, that scene's gone. I kind of questioned on whether or not this one should count as a TV show movie, but if I'm willing to count movies based on web.
I wonder how long the Spiny ranks all the TV show movies he's seen sections are going to be. At some point, those sections are just going to be their own videos. I wonder what the psychology behind being motivated to edit while on stream is. Like, maybe it's the idea that you have an audience, maybe something to prove. Makes me wonder. I'm not questioning your method or anything. Don't get the wrong idea. Oh, no, it's perfectly fine. I think there is, like, I think you're onto it there, basically. Like, I think sometimes when I'm editing by myself, I get into my own head too much. I get bored, or I get demotivated, or I even just have a thought where it's like, yeah, you're wasting your time right now. Stop it. And when you live stream it, it's a little bit different. It's something about showing what you're doing. Like, even if no one is there, just keeping it open to the public, where anyone can see what you're doing. I think something about that just kind of keeps you continuing to go. You keep moving. Because I could do a live stream, I feel, for 9 hours without a single person interacting. But also there is the side of it where maybe someone will show up. Maybe you can kind of pause for a second and have a conversation or talk about something. And I think a lot of these work in progress streams I'm going to do are going to be me illustrating for Spiny videos, or even doing light animation. And when that happens, I think it's going to be heavily, like I'm actually gonna have, like, I'm gonna allow friends to be in the call with me if they want to be, and I'm gonna be looking at chat a lot more, because I'm gonna be like, okay, yeah, what can we talk about while I'm doing this? Because obviously for this, whenever I want to talk, I need to pause and, stop what I'm doing for a second. But that's part of it. As long as work is getting done, I think that's good. Ooh, I'm burpy right now. Been taking a psychology course this past semester, and yeah, I'm totally drawing a blank on this. I don't know. I mean, I think you called it out. I think you got it. I think it is just something that helps you. It's a motivator, it's a motivator. It also makes the process a little bit more fun. I like every once in a while pause and saying, okay, did anyone say anything? Like right now I'm in Premiere and I'm going to edit for a bit before I look at chat again. But when I pause again, I'll see, hey, did anyone say anything? And I'll respond to it. It's fun. It makes it a little bit more interesting.
Movie, but if I'm willing to count movies based on web,
I need posters. I have a posters folder. There we go. I need MacGruber and the Angry Video Game Nerd movie. There we go.
Web shows or movies based on a comedy sketch. Shows or movies based on a comedy sketch. I think I should be able to count this one too.
Let's jump a little bit ahead. That's a good shot, the running shot.
Based on a comedy sketch, I think I should be able to count this one too. Plus, I just want to talk about it a bit. I guess using Spiny as my talk talk about it a bit. I guess using Spiny as my avatar would give off the idea that I'm a huge Monty Python fan. And when it comes to the movies, yes. I'll be right out. I will be. We're gonna go BRB real quick. Nope, I want it to be something different. All right. And we will mute
I spelled right wrong. Well, I don't know if anyone is still here, but you scared me. Sorry, a random Ricky. I had to take care of getting dinner figured out for me and my grandma. And I got some sushi. Anyway.
I guess using Spiny as my avatar would give off the idea that I'm a huge...
That's right, this is where we are. Oh, yeah. Kinda need to jump ahead a bit. Whoop.
The idea that I'm a huge Monty Python fan. And when it comes to the movies, yeah, I am. When it comes to the show, well, I've never... When it comes to the show, to the movies, yeah, I am. When it comes to the show...
Need to get a clip from the show there.
Well, I've never actually seen the whole show. I've watched select skits. I love select skits. The Piranha Brothers skit that has Spiny in it is probably my favorite skit on the show. But honestly, me using Spiny comes more so from an inside joke between my dad and my brother. They thought the...
I know what I need here. I need a couple of things here. You guys are going to hear me I'm going to play a clip. And once it's downloaded, you're going to hear me really mad. Oh. What? Okay, I've got to actually open the video up and copy the link. Alright, start that download. We need to get some Monty Python show clips. The whole show was uploaded 18 years ago and it's still all up. That's funny.
Even the police began to sit up and take notice.
I'll just take a really low quality video here. And with those three, maybe we'll have what we need. What's for dinner? Pizza. Just ordered a pizza. I know the Kirby Air Riders demo came out today. I can tell they took similar notes from Sonic Crossroads. Anyone that Mr. Spy Norman wanted to see in Kirby Air Riders but was denied. God, Stort and Cass would be better for answering that one. They might even be recording something for Stort's channel, The Igloo. Either tonight or tomorrow for that, but I don't even have a Switch 2. Meat Lovers? I like Meat Lovers.
Me and my grandma went for both. We actually got 2 small pizzas because my grandma wanted anchovies and onions on hers, which she basically wanted everything on hers. I can do anchovies, not something I really want to go for, but I'm not as grossed out by it as most people would be. Onion, I genuinely can't stand. I know it's weird that onion is the one I have a bigger issue with, but for me, I went with some pepperoni, mushroom, jalapeno, and olive. I like a meat lover's pizza, but but I like those toppings too. Those to me are like probably my 4 favorite pizza toppings. Thank you, a random Ricky. Yeah, I don't know. A meat lover's is good though. I like having like ham or sausage. Like really, the only topping I think I don't like is onion. Even pineapple on pizza. It's not something I'm ever gonna order myself. But I went to a restaurant with a friend once and he ordered a Hawaiian pizza because he really liked it. And I tried a piece and it wasn't bad. I enjoyed it, but it's not something I'd order myself because I don't really want something that sweet on my pizza. Oh. Who is messaging me? Oh, Austin. And I cannot read what that said. Oh. Alright. Jeez. Alright, so throwing in some Monty Python clips. I've got a Spiny clip to throw in. We're going to have to pick a clip of me getting really angry for an edit here. Plus, I just want to talk about it a bit. I guess using Spiny as my avatar would give off the idea that I'm a huge Monty Python fan. And when it comes to the movies, yeah, I am. When it comes to the show, well, I've never actually seen the whole show. I've watched select skits. Some really great footage right here. Play it from here. The whole show. I've watched select skits. I love select skits. The Piranha Brothers skit. Select. Time to time. I've watched select skits. I love select skits. The Piranha Brothers skit that has Spiny in it is probably my favorite skit on the show. But honestly, me using Spiny comes more so from an inside joke between my dad and brother. They thought the ending of that inside joke comes more so. Yeah, I am. When it comes to the show, well, I've never actually seen the whole show. I've watched select skits. I love select skits. The Piranha Brothers skit that has Spiny in it is probably my favorite skit on the show. But honestly, me using Spiny comes more so from an inside joke between my dad and brother. They thought the ending of that skit was so hilarious and their laughter was so contagious that I was forced into finding it really funny too. I remember when they would always try to... I might just use an image for this part. I remember when they would always...
Oh, hey, like it's the actual image followed by my reaction
I
image.
remember when they would always try to find that video on YouTube, but couldn't remember the name of the episode or skit. So instead of typing in Face the Press or the Piranha Brothers, they would just type in Spiny Norman. If they ever tried to do that again, they might just discover what I do in my free time.
Is this not done downloading yet? Should be. Okay, no, it is. So I gotta just find a part. Colors was one where I was like getting kind of angry. So we just gotta wait for those beautiful audio waves to show up on my timeline. And then we can find out where I was shouting. Meanwhile, look at the chat. Anything on the side? Cheese sticks? No cheese sticks. I sometimes I like to go for some good old cheese sticks. Oh, choose Spiny's reaction to Lost World having a post game. You need Spiny. I thought about taking from Lost World, but even in my script I wrote, no, take it from Colors. Because Colors was just more general rage.
Things, but they're like, it doesn't matter. But it doesn't fucking matter. It's cool there. Let me aim for the eyes, you fucking cunt.
Oh god.
You let me lock onto the thing that can't die.
Oh, this isn't even the one I wanted. I picked the one that was titled Rage in Sonic Colors, but honestly my biggest outrage happened in the finale. I need to go back to that. I downloaded the wrong clip. Oh god, this is 13 minutes long. It's gonna take forever to download. I am gonna go a little bit longer here, but I am gonna stop pretty soon. I'm gonna need to get the food and rest a bit.
That'll be fun. I'm looking forward to the day that happens. At this point, I'm talking more about my history with this movie and that happens. At this point, I'm talking more about my history with this movie and Monty Python than the movie itself, but I think that's fair. It's the Monty Python character guy. Itself, but I think that's fair. It's the Monty Python character guy finally talking about Monty Python again. I only really did that.
Since we're in Sonic, I remember seeing your Lost World playthrough and genuinely thinking the game would be painful to play, but after playing it myself, I genuinely enjoy it. And honestly, the thing you said about not judging a game by how you play was definitely right in this case, in my opinion, with all respect, of course. Oh, of course, no. When I get angry at a game, it really should just be seen as that is me getting angry at a game. I don't want anyone to, like, take what I'm saying so seriously to where it's like me get like I do think in my last calls I do try to have valid points to make. That's so subjective, of course, but
when it's like a playthrough and I'm like struggling and getting frustrated, that needs to be taken with a grain of salt because it does not take a lot to frustrate me when playing a game. Fair. I really did rage at Secret Rings, but in the end, I still gave it a 7 because I ended up enjoying the game. Honestly, I actually enjoy Secret of Rings from what I played of it too. Hello. Yeah, Secret of Rings has its problems, but I do enjoy a lot of it. I need to get that thumbnail. Only want you to download the thumbnail. Why did the... Okay. Okay, buddy. Chillax. There we go. It took me a while to get that. Truth be told, with Lost World, I actually don't even hate the game. I got really mad at it, but I had a lot of fun during certain portions of it. One other time in this channel's 3-year lifespan. Fun. I'm looking forward to the day that happens. At this point, I'm talking more about my history with this movie and Monty Python than the movie itself, but I think that's fair. It's the Monty Python character guy finally talking about Monty Python again. I only really did that one other time in this channel's 3-year lifespan. Monty Python and the Holy Grail is an incredible comedy, and most of the bits were...
That's a cool shot. We use that.
Channel's 3-year lifespan. Monty Python and the Holy Grail is an incredible comedy, and most of the bits work really well. It does technically have a story, but most of the bits work really well. It does technically have a story, but not only does it
On second thoughts, let's not go to Camelot. It is a silly place. Right.
that technically have a story, but not only does it drop that story in favor of something else, like something else like 20 minutes in, but it still functions very much like an extended episode of Flying Circus. Just this time with reoccurring characters and this time with reoccurring characters and this goal of finding the Holy Grail that they focus on from time to time. You have all of the absurdity from the from time to time. You have all of the absurdity from the show. You have those Terry Gilliam. You have all of the absurdity from the show. You have those. You have those Terry Gilliam animations in between segments. You have characters break and react. Previous scenes come back to segments. You have characters breaking reality, like in this one scene where a bunch of the previous scenes come back to argue over which one of them was the funniest or most clever. The film has a format that really does play out like funniest or most clever. The film has a format that really does play out like one skit after the other. Most of these skits you could even enjoy without context of the previous scenes. I honestly think I could eventually do a without context of the previous scenes. I honestly think I could eventually do a ranking video ranking each skit within this movie. I mentioned finding some of the deliveries funny as video ranking each skit within this movie. I mentioned finding some of the deliveries funny as a kid, but truthfully, while there were some skits that went over my head, a lot of them were pretty easy to follow even as a child. King Arthur's fight with the knight.
What? How about you?
King Arthur's fight with the knight was just as funny to me back then as it is today. The witch scene is to me back then as it is today. The witch scene has always been a funny one. The 3 questions over the bridge might spill. The witch scene has always been a funny one.
There we go.
Your quest?
To seek the Holy Grail.
What is your favorite color?
Blue.
Right, off you go.
Oh, thank you.
It's been a funny one. The 3 questions over the bridge might still be my favorite bit in this entire movie. It's such a simple joke.
I don't know that.
Just that and the shit makes me laugh still.
Entire movie. It's such a simple joke, but I love how they pulled it off, especially if the one guy second guess.
Trim that a bit so I can cut.
It's such a simple joke, but I love how they pulled it off, especially if the
Camelot. What is your quest? I seek the Grail. What is your favorite color? Blue. No.
Fucking second guesses his fucking color and dyes for that.
how they pulled it off, especially if the one guy second guessing his favorite color leading to his death. But then there's some more dry bits that I didn't really get as a kid. I do get why you got so frustrated, though. Definitely, it's a game where having no lives would have been great, especially in those last levels. The story is ass, that I agree with most people, but it's so bad it's good at points. So I will at least keep my attention. Colors was very bland, really. Yeah, I think it's better than Colors for sure. It was death. But then there's some more dry bits that I didn't really get as a kid, like the opening scene, for example. Bits that I didn't really get as a kid, like bits that I didn't really get as a kid, like the opening scene, for example. I didn't get why this guy was banging coconuts together. It's a really stupid and easy to understand joke, but hell if I knew what people were. It was really fun. Banging coconuts together. It's a really stupid and easy to understand joke, but hell if I knew what people were doing in ye old times. Maybe that was normal, thought 7-year-old me. Maybe that was normal, thought 7-year-old me. I also didn't understand. Was normal, thought 7-year-old me. I also didn't understand a word of their conversation about coconuts and swallows, so it was really funny getting older and realizing that the entire thing was just complete nonsense, delivered with such nonsense, delivered with such authenticity that my stupid child brain actually thought they were having a real conversation. I think the only scenes I never got that into is the one where Sir Galahad is in the castle floor. Only scenes I never is the one where Sir Galahad is the one where Sir Galahad is in the castle full of young women who want to be punished, and the enchant. Castle full of young women who want to be punished, and the enchanter scene. I'm probably listing some fans' favorite scenes right now. But I don't know, they just don't do a lot. No, now. But I don't know, they just don't do a lot for me. It's kind of funny when It's kind of funny when Galahad's friend comes to rescue him from a situation he doesn't want to be taken out of, but it's one of those scenes just plays out in a very repetitive way. But it's one of those scenes just plays out in a very repetitive way. Like, I get it. He's horny. It's a very horny scene. That's the joke. That's the joke. Moving on. And the enchanter is probably the only... on. And the enchanter is probably the only scene in the movie I've never gotten a single laugh from. It's not terrible or anything, it's just kind of a weak skit in between two great ones. It's just kind of a weak skit, that's all. The rest of the movie...
Oh, that's basically a repeated line.
It's just kind of a weak skit in between...
Oh, I get why I have that in there. It's because in case I was wrong about it being a skit in between two great ones.
Between two great...
Because I couldn't actually remember when I recorded that if that was true.
Great ones.
Alright. But I think I'm going to call this one. Got some work done. I'm going to resume working on this on stream. Need to get off though and make sure dinner gets here, and it should be here soon. Yeah, oh wow, they have a tracker on it. That's new. Alrighty. Yeah, I'm gonna stop working on this for now. I think 2.5 hours is a pretty decent amount of time to spend on this. I'll pick it back up probably tomorrow even, and try to get this video out pretty soon. But yeah, gonna call it here. Thank you for tuning in. Have a good night. Peace out.